Hello. Today we are in Maine, as we talked about when we were down in Gloucester. It's a little blowy and windy today, so I hope you can hear okay. This will probably audio will probably have to be enhanced when I get home anyway. But the purpose of this brief video is to talk about the syllabus and to give you some details about the course. I will probably divide this into two. I'm just going to talk in general about the course in this one. This will be about 3, 4, 5 minutes maybe, and then I'll give you more detail in the about the course topics in the second video. Okay, just as a way to start, I'll talk about the course description. This course explores the use of real and realistic context as a foundation for enhancing learning and teaching and critical thought. I have divided the course into 4 sections: an overview of key ideas and concepts. A second part will zero in on context and its various meanings and definitions. It's a very complex construct, actually. Then we're going to talk about social learning theories, and then in the 4th section we're going to talk about teaching and social context for critical reasoning. So that's I'm getting bugs here, which is all part of the main experience, believe me. I'm going to talk a little bit about the course in terms of an overview. We call this a global before local technique, and we'll talk more about that as the semester goes along. But I'm going to give you a global overview of the course, and that's really the purpose of these 2 videos. The big assumption is that context is critical to learning and teaching. And notice how I use those words, learning and teaching. I always precede those 2 words with learning because I believe learning precedes teaching. Now that might seem a little odd to some people, that you feel like you have to teach before learning occurs, but we are natural learners. And the good teaching allows people to do natural learning and guide them with their teaching. So there's a lot of research with regard to real life context and its meaning to the learner, and how the teacher engages that is really important. So when things are learned in a real life context, the knowledge is thought to be more powerful and vital to the learner, and it's more likely to be transferable. Now that's a difficult and slippery slope, and we'll talk about that a lot during the course. Additionally, it's possible to use real and realistic context to enhance critical thinking and advance problem solving. Given that those research ideas are commonly accepted, how do we organize events and how do we organize teaching to deliver instruction that maximizes contextual learning? So that's the point of the class, is how do we use context to enhance learning, but not just learning. We want people who are critical thinkers and critical problem solvers. So my expectation for the course is to create a community of practice among you as doctoral scholars, and probably a master's student as well. And we'll work collectively towards constructed understanding of the truth that we read in the professional literature. That's part of the constructivism that we will also talk about throughout the semester. It's important that we develop an ethic or procedures for sharing what we learn, asking each other tough questions, argue, learn to live with some ambiguity, and find the best available evidence to support our positions for a given topic. So I've got to catch up with myself here a little bit here. The first part is that we're going to really dig into what we mean when we say the word contextual. What does it really mean? So we're going to spend time operationalizing that word and finding definitions in the professional literature. And we're going to examine some competing theories about what context means and what it means to learning, but also human development. So we'll dig into that topic very deeply early in the course. So our learning community is going to scrutinize the research and theories about contextual learning. And you will come to recognize this is not a new idea. It's been around for quite a while. It predates us, certainly. It predates Lave and some of the situated cognition that has been real popular since the 1990s. But there have been people talking about the importance of context in learning since John Dewey, and maybe even people that precede John Dewey. And the last part of the class is that we're going to get into teaching. And we're going to discuss how we can organize instruction and develop people who are critical thinkers, but also reflective practitioners. So that's kind of the beginning of the course and an overview of the course. The last thing I want to do in this video is to share the learning objectives with you. I want you, and I'm just going to do these 1 through 5. I want you to experience the joy of learning and maybe also the agony of professional development. Sometimes it's thrilling to take these to learn new topics and to try on new ideas, but also it can be a little bit challenging when you have people challenging ideas that you've held dear for a long time. So it can be both the agony and the joy. The second objective is to critique the foundational constructs that support contextual learning and teaching. We want to be, in our third objectives, we want to differentiate between competing aspects of theories of context. As a group, as a learning community or a community of practice, we want to create a model of contextual learning and teaching appropriate to your professional needs and interests. Lastly, and this is kind of this is an important one for me, but it's about to reflect on the meaning of this material with regards to how you conceptualize contextual learning and teaching and how it might impact on your professional practice. So I want you to spend some time really reflecting on yourself and thinking about your practice with regards to this material, and then sharing that with other people in the learning community. So that is the first part of the video, and in the next one I'm going to talk about the topical outline and a few other things. So let's move on to that other video here. Thanks. All right.